Hey, I think everything works now. I was trying to get the audio all set up and all that jazz. I kind of moved the monitor down, got it to come forward a little bit so it can be more in front of my face. That way we don't have audio issues anymore. Start today off with wit. Can't go wrong with wit. Hey, what was that? Knocked the remote over? Hello. Hi guys, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, I know the music's probably way too loud. Let me turn that down. Maybe just a little bit. I did get my audio kind of better. I was able to move the microphone closer to my face, all that kind of stuff. It's going fantastic. It's going fantastic. I was able to make, I think it was close to 40% or something like that off of this pattern that we're currently sitting in. Um, I've just been kind of following these fib lines all the way down. We haven't really done a lot of testing of the top ones yet, and we currently just broke out. We're kind of retesting to see if we are going to go to the upside. If we're going to go to the upside, my take profit's going to be set at about 10,230 ish. That's what kind of trade I'm looking at right now. As long as we don't get an under. If we get an under, obviously it goes to the opposite side, and then we'll just continue this fib down channel, probably until about you know uh, 9,700, just to stay flat. But it's been a breeze the past couple of days. I mean, as long as you understood what kind of pattern we're in, we just been kind of following it pretty much to the T. There's nothing exciting, nothing crazy going on. We finally got we finally stopped going down the other night and finally got our first burst upwards. That was pretty exciting. The I changed my time frames a little bit. So I changed the 1 hour to a 90 minute. So it just goes 7, 15, 30, 90, and that's why my indications are just a tad bit different. It just allowed me to, kind of capitalize more on the unders, just because it was a down channel. Overs aren't really going to do much. And each time there was kind of a chance to break out to the upside. It gave an over, but it obviously failed each time. And you didn't lose pretty much anything on the overs. You kind of just had to, you know, deal with a couple hours of no movement at all. Um, but it was a good couple trades. I didn't do anything like crazy scalping wise, even though we have had like those micro dips where it just shoots down for a hot second. I wasn't interested in them. I just kind of kept following the trend down. Um, let's go take a look at the macros real quick, because I mean, really, as we get closer and closer to backed, the chart itself is looking bullish. And I think if they are going to just drop the price significantly, they want the chart to look as bullish as it possibly can to trick as many possible people as they can to get into longs. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to break upwards because I'm I'm just going with the flow here, but um, for the past couple months, we've been following this fib fan to the T. We are not in a descending triangle, as everybody's calling it. From my perspective, obviously, people have different perspectives, but from my fib fan angle on the 12-hour chart, 12 hour, very significant. We have respected this fib fan all the way up. I mean, the absolute pinnacle of it would be October 27th, but we are getting pretty damn close to a couple breakout points. Obviously, if a bunch of major institutions stump in, it doesn't matter if we're at a breakout point or a breakdown point. They're just going to dump the price. But we're going to make a crap ton of money if they do. That's all I know. I have a couple things here. I was doing some one on ones and drawing some little patterns in thin air. But it's been a crazy past couple of days. I've just been kind of focused, just kind of getting a lot of material together because I have been doing a lot of one-on-ones on the side, and that's why I haven't been streaming a lot lately. Um, I just had to, if someone pays me for my time, I kind of have to prioritize that person. And I mean, if it gets to the point where there's too many people, I'll probably have to set up like a weekly schedule rather than working towards their schedule. I try my best to work for them and what their needs are, but if it gets to the point where I have too many people, I might have to set up like a classroom session, kind of, where like let's say there's like 20 people. I invite them all to a Discord call. I can share my screen with them. We can all video chat. I feel like that'd be more beneficial. It's kind of like live stream in a sense, just because you got real time questions instead of going based off of a curriculum. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, a lot of people have seen a lot of success recently just from the 1v1s, not 1v1s, one-on-ones. And we just been kind of cruising through them. We're I mean, I've come back to a couple people a couple times, and literally within like the first call or two, they get they pretty much understand it. I'm actually surprised because I was really like hoping that I could work with a person for a longer period of time before like it really clicked. Not to like soak up more money; it's a one-time payment, but I, you know, they just got it like that, and I was like, damn, I love it and I hate it. So I love teaching. So the longer I can teach, the happier I am. Good morning, Nick. How you doing, man? I've been testing some crazy hyper scalping for fun with the new setup last day. Is it the current setup or did you configure it yourself? Because I was reading a lot of stuff in the Discord recently, and even though I give you guys like a beneficial layout, granted the 7, 15, 30, 60, and the swing time frames, that's just like a baseline. I really hope you guys are thinking for yourself as well. Like we were in a volatile, in a downtrend, so I wanted to maximize the time I was in a trade just because it wasn't going to go anywhere. We were just kind of slowly going down, and I mean it was a breeze. It really was. So I kind of just upped the time frame so that I didn't have as many volatile trades. I didn't have to constantly get in and out of the long. It was a good time. Because I mean, it's been a crazy past couple of days just with the breaks, like the breakups and the breakdowns. Um, Lots and lots of profit. And I mean, kite crossing, it called this dump, called this pump. Um, and I mean, it called most of the downtrends with only a couple overs that kind of failed out. You didn't lose anything, but you wouldn't have made anything either. Um, and this under right here, I did take profit on it because fish. I'm like this dog. He's just a little bit too much. Yeah. Where was I? So this one right here, the way I've been kind of doing these is I do have some pretty aggressive stop losses, and take prop. Not, I didn't have any take profits, but I did have stop losses in place. This one right here, I had these little trend lines set up, based on these past couple candles, and once it came back up to here, I kind of just closed it. So that was a very very small gain off of this under right here, but this one right here, this was about a 15% when I took profit because I took profit just below this right here. And then as we hit the bottom and bounced off of it, I did take another long off of that. So now, I mean, if we just continue the over, I do think it probably will break to the upside. But I just don't see it getting past about 10,243. Now, if it can wick past it and then get a candle body to close above it and find support, then we could probably start trending upwards. But until I see that, I just don't think it's going to happen. It's just not likely. So I will just have my take profit set up right before it. Kite, check out Kite V2, normal VWAP, EMA 21, whales, buy sell indicators, stock R silent crypto. I did try crypto VN trend, but now that Market Cipher has the red dots, I just kind of deleted it. It's that's all I used it for was the red dots. I think CryptoFace saw that on the stream the last time, and he was like, "I'll just add him." So he did. I'm currently sitting on the 5-minute chart right now. I do kind of want to up it and probably put it at a 10-minute. Let me see if I do that. I'm probably gonna change this to 10-minute as well. 20. The red dots, they're just sell signals. So they have the green dots on the bottom, and then they just recently added the red dots. Um, I mean, if you would have exited on every single red dot, you pretty much would have got. I mean, if you would have shorted on every single red dot, I mean, it's just momentum waves. You just go with the momentum. Um, the red dots, I probably wouldn't do it too much on the lower time frames. That's just too many trades for me personally. But definitely on the higher time frames, I would pay attention to those red dots. They just signify, when the VWAP crosses 0 and it closes and confirms. That's all a red dot is. So we've been doing it the entire time, but now there's actually a visual indicator of when that happens, just for anybody that's still confused about it. We're cruising towards this breakout point. Something should happen pretty soon. If not, we'll probably just keep trending upwards, probably into this zone right here, and then we could break out upwards if it does continue to find support. If not, we're either going to break down pretty soon or we're going to break upwards. Or like I said, we're just going to continue to follow this fib line, this fib fan. This one got respected many, many times. And then once it found support right here, that's when I started taking the majority of my longs. I believe the swing time frames are still in an under, so we'll see how stuff goes. I'm talking too damn fast tonight. I'm on my game. But it's pretty decent. Let's continue to look at some of the higher time frames, because as we're getting closer and closer to backed and the end of this consolidation period, um, I am just looking at the macro triangle more and more, just trying to see where we're getting to. In order for me to get super super bearish, I want to see a candle body, candle body below this fib fan right here. Until I see that, I'm just going to assume we're going to continue to respect this. So like I said, we have room to drop all the way down to about 9,700, 99,000. 9,680 to be exact. And then as long as we continue to find support there, I mean, this is just looking bullish. It really is. It's just looking bullish. It's not really looking bearish at all. But obviously, backed can change all of that. But until then, I am remaining bullish. I would like to see one more retest up to about 10,600 before we do have the major. If we do have the major breakdown, just so I can get some extra profit up on it. Can I turn up the mic? I thought I had it pretty damn good, but I will for you. Okay, hopefully that's not too loud. Is that good? I don't know. Let me listen back to it. Hello? Okay. Oh, that's good. Now it makes his barks even louder. Hey! You don't own this house. Went to Logan's? Went to Logan's? You DoorDashed Logan's. This is a new level. So DoorDash, I think, should specifically be used for, maybe fast food. But this is called. I'm gonna look it up. The plus, you guys get mad at me. Well, I'm trying to speak. You get high for you. It's fine. I'll just order and get high. Fuck you guys. I'll put top to I don't know if you heard my roommate in any of that, but uh, he was complaining that he got the restaurant delivered to him because he can't smoke his weed in the restaurant. I don't see how that's a bad thing, but it is for him. This is the AKG C214. On my channel, I have like a comparison between the SM7B and the AKG, and it was done in like a professional studio. So if you are interested in mics, if you want to, the SM7B I sold that a little bit ago. I wish I kind of kept it though, because at the time I didn't know that I was going to be doing live streaming. And the SM7B is definitely a live streaming mic. You can have an AC in the background, all that kind of stuff. Um, check out the whales buy sell indicator. Then more accurate than clove, and you can mod it. I'll check it out. Um, whales buy sell indicator. It's pretty hidden too. Oh, it's got some pretty damn good buys. Let me go to a smaller time frame. For scalping, this looks pretty damn good. Oh yeah. That looks really good. I might have to order me some. That was a damn good buy signal. Fish. Yeah, this thing is really accurate. I definitely might just keep it on. If you could set a bot up on this thing, that's when it's going to probably really shine, because you can't really take advantage of every single little move unless you're chilling at your computer 24 hours. That's a good buy signal right there. It's the whales buy sell indicator. Thug Crypto just recommended it to me. On many time frames, you mean like the 30-second, the 1 second? That's funny. This is the crackhead chart. We're just gonna chill on the crackhead chart. How about that? Fish. I don't have any food. Bladen gave me that food. There's yellow X's on the 1 second. We got ant manipulation out here. Ooh, that's it's just a 1 second chart. I don't know why I expected so much. I was like, oh my god, it's dump. I don't know if there's anybody out there that uses a 1 second chart. I don't see how that would benefit anybody. Maybe like a bot that's like, but even then the market orders would eat you up. The whale buy sell indicator, I mean, I just added it and it works on every single time frame. It's pretty damn accurate too. Thanks, man. Thank you, Thug Crypto. This is really actually decent. I mean, and the fact that it only has like 142 likes, this thing's like a hidden gem. Where'd you find this thing at? I have seen the Divergence spotter, um, but I even though it's great tool to have, I do recommend that if you're new to Market Cipher, you really have to get good at spotting the divergences yourself, because even the divergence spotter doesn't. Some of the divergences that you can eyeball and see, like they just it kind of misses it sometimes. It's for 80% of the divergences, it's correct, but it does slip up just a tad bit sometimes. To add the whale buy sell indicator. You just go up to indicators, you type in whale buy sell, uh, whales buy sell, and then you can see it's right here. And then you just click it, adds it to your chart. Boom, bada bing. Is there a back tester? Maybe I can add it to the strategy tester. I feel like it should be able to test a strategy, apply it to the chart. I wish you could get profit log from that, because I mean it's pretty damn accurate. Let's see. Let me do a 30-minute time frame. So it still has a buy symbol going. The 30-minute actually lined up pretty much exactly with Kite crossing one. Gave you sell symbol up here. So I mean, you would have held this all the way through if you're on the 30-minute chart. This one, you would have made pretty much the same exact as I made with Kite crossing, just holding that single trade. Um, I have made about 40% and some change so far on this one. And I am hoping that the long plays out because I love profit. Never settles. Thanks for the donation, man. Really do appreciate it. And I did read that Scorpio thing you sent me, so I really liked that. That was pretty cool. I am using 7, 15, 30, 90. Um, just because it's a little bit too volatile for it to be down that low. Let's switch it back though. I do want to see what it would have done otherwise. So it is giving us an under symbol as of right now on the 60. Hasn't given it on the 90 yet. Got to modify it. It's got a lot of different setups. How do I get to? Okay, so maybe click it. Source close. Um, that affected on me. Ooh. Yes, pretty good. Buy symbol here. Sell symbol here. Sell symbol. Ooh. This is tough. This is tough. This is actually awesome. If you set it up to do it off the VWAP, definitely. This one, if you're on the 12-minute, you would have had it enter right away, or else you would have got screwed. Show me the settings you just changed it to. So I went, clicked on it, hit source, and I changed it to Market Cipher B VWAP for what it dictates as, buy and a sell. Or what if I put it on the kite crossing? Oh, that one was late. Yeah, I wouldn't put it on that low of a time frame. I feel like if you leave it on the VWAP, it's gonna be pretty damn good. What does the range multiplier do? What happens when I change that? Oh, maybe not go that high. Let's do 4. What's 4 do? Makes it a little bit more spread out. Yeah, even this one was kind of struggling with this pattern, giving you a bunch of buys. That's why I kind of changed mine up to 90, so I wasn't getting as many buys. Thug Crypto recommended a thing called Whales buy and sell indicator, and then when you adjust it to the market cipher B VWAP, it's very accurate. It's very accurate. Told you to buy right here, boom, sell right here. Wow, this is actually, I'm just surprised how well this actually works. You would feel like this thing would have like 3,000 likes and be at the top of the page, but no. So how do I? So I have the targets as black. My target. Let me change this to. Does this thing also give you targets? I don't know if it works or not. Well, Crypto VN is pretty much the same as Market Cipher, but the money flow is kind of off. I don't remember if that's the only thing about it that's off. The momentum waves are the same. I don't think it has the stochastic RSI. Maybe it does. No, I think it does have the stochastic RSI actually. I wish the targets would work. I set my own targets based on fib lines and stuff like that. So I don't really need help with that, but I feel like that would help a lot of people if the targets did work. Fish, I just took you out. Go lay down. Well, the macro pattern is still bullish, but obviously with batch coming out, you can't really base that just because it's. I mean, there's just a lot of FUD around it. It could be FUD or it could be truth, or maybe backed wants you to think that they're bearish and then they pump the price, liquidate a whole bunch of people. Because they did get a little bit of their inventory in beforehand a couple weeks ago, and they could have made a lot off of that, but that could have been, I don't remember if that was back before the pump from around 9,500, 9,600. Was it? I do not remember. But they got about 125 mil in, which isn't a lot for them. Isn't a lot, but they definitely could benefit off of it if they did pump it one more time and then dump it. Or it could be a repeat of the CME futures where it kind of just pumps and then they put it back into a consolidation period. Use some time mod the whale indicator to yours. Use some time mod. Well, I wish I could set it up on Kite Crossing by itself, but you can only do each time frame. I mean, you could do the third time frame. Ooh, why does the third time frame make it go pretty much fucking ballistic? fourth time frame. Ooh, that's tough. On that bottom, sell that top. This is nice. This is nice. I'll be trying it out the next couple days. This might actually get me back into hardcore scalping. I don't like how hardcore scalping though. It's just too much stress on you. I mean, obviously most of the time you're in the right position, but the constantly entering in and limiting in, I hate chasing limit orders so much. I want some lo-fi. I feel like the microphone is loud enough now so that it doesn't. I can probably have the music a little bit higher. Just don't want it to clip that. It's not doing it. Okay, cool. We're good. It actually might dump down here if it is telling me the truth right now. I mean, the 60-minute already gave it. And I gave it back here. And we are below this, but that's on. Let's see. We do have a little bit of room to come down. Just a little bit. Let me update my fib fans real quick. That way we get a better representation of what's actually happening. I haven't updated them in a couple days. Let me see. Need these to be. Actually, we might be able to dump down either here or here. Or it could go all the way back down to our support. But I don't expect it to go past this just yet. Maybe if it can get into a descending triangle, then it could push past it. But even then, it would need to be a much more actually. This could be a descending triangle on a bull flag. But we just haven't seen a retest to the downside just because the resistance is too hard for it to break through. Huh. Almost. I do have it set up off of Kite Crossing right now. I just don't like how many times it tells you to get in and get out. I feel like that would trip me up. I'd switch it to the 30-minute. Doesn't seem like it wants to go off of this, because I would love it to go off of Kite Crossing, but be able to lay it onto a single time frame. Okay, so if I have it on close, then do the targets work? Let me see. One thing that I would dislike is if the target isn't accurate based on the pattern because right here it feels like the target shifted zones while it was happening. So I mean, you could have taken profit right here, something like that, and then it would have caused it to go sideways. Probably turn targets off. That's kind of a lot of noise that you don't need. I have it back up 190, but on 60. I believe in it on 90. It's been very, very accurate. And no, it has not been for this one. For this pattern in particular, yes, but this one right here, no. I'm gonna switch it back to 60, just in case we do have something coming up, because when we are getting to a breakdown or a breakup point, something big's gonna happen. Okay, there we go. We haven't gotten under yet, so I'm just gonna continue to hold this long. I'm sitting at negative 1% right now. Kite, not on Cypher. I have it on close. I did change the range from the default 3 though. I feel like out of the box, it works just as well. It's not really, it didn't really give any false signals. I mean, it gave you a sell back here, pretty much the exact same time it gave you an under. This over came a little bit late, but I mean that was what? That was 6% at 10x. Yeah, I might do that. Let me go ahead and change that. I don't think we cover up anything important down here, right? Maybe put it like right here. I don't know if that's lined up. Hold on. Yeah, it is. We're good. I'm on the 30-minute right now, but I am going to go back to the 5-minute. Oh, we actually did get an under on the 5-minute. I'm actually going to exit this long. Actually, no, I'm just going to trust it. I'm going to do... Where's my stop loss at? Yeah, I'm going to do a 5x on this one. Damn. Let me switch to the right side. Perfect. Whatever happened to... Oh, this got moved over here. We can put that like right here. Actually, I don't like how close it is. There we go. Did I miss anything? do think it might bounce for a little bit, but if we can't break resistance above this zone, then it's probably going to break down. And it probably, if it holds support, let's see from here, be decent, but the maximum potential it has to come down to probably be right about 2.89. Can't see that one line. Can you move it down a little bit? Which line? All right, is that good? It covers up the price, but I think we'll be fine. Let me zoom this in a little bit. I think our short got filled. Yes, it did. It's just gonna be a chill night. There's not gonna be much going on, but if we do get stopped out here pretty soon, I would hate for it to continue a pattern like it has been, where it just kind of reverses and starts going upwards. That would suck. Just a couple boring days and then Bat comes in and wrecks everything. You want to move this down just a tad bit? Did they change any settings on the whale indicator? I didn't change. I mean, I just kind of left it default because even default, it's very, very accurate. You can add it to the market site for VWAP, and it's just as accurate. Other than that, I mean, I just started playing with this thing, so I mean, if I can learn more about it, I'll definitely share with you guys. Thank you, Thug Crypto. I really do appreciate it, man. What's up, JC? How you doing, man? Oh, you were joking. You made me move my entire setup. It's okay. It's fine where it is now. Right, guys? Nothing is. Yeah, it's a free indicator. It's just called Whales buy and sell indication or something like that. You're not using it right. It's not supposed to be spot on every time. Why would you not want it to be spot on every time? I wonder how this indicator works. I wonder if it works off of momentum, like mine does, or if it's something to it. It's very particular how you have to type it in. It goes. You just have to type in whales, not whale. Whales buy sell indicator. So just type in whales space buy, and then it should pop up. I'm not sure if it reprints or not. And you can't add it to the strategy tester, and you can't. There's no back tester for it. But um, I'm assuming it would be pretty good. I haven't had a lot of experience with it yet. I mean, we just learned about it. I just learned about it tonight. So, hey, how you doing, Neil? How you doing, man? What time US East Coast is backed come out tomorrow? Backed launch date. So, I mean, it says 23rd. Does it have a specific time? Wait, backed is live? Damn. That's not exciting. So they came out a day early? They could have taken advantage of that. But who knows?
I'll get straight to the point. I found marijuana in the house. And while I never thought of myself as the type of father who'd have to drug test his kids, I'm willing to do just that if that's what it takes to find out who brought a joint into this house.
Dad, Lucy found something too.
Dad, I found a joint in Mom's dresser drawer.
What?
Dad.
It was Mom all along?
Dad, I found a joint in Mom's dresser drawer.
I would love for back to come out and nothing changes. That would be the best. It's like they pulled a gigantic joke on everybody. They come out, everything goes along as normal. Nothing special happens. Nothing exciting happens. That would be the best. I mean, a 1 minute, $100 pump. That's all Back's got. They can't do shit. I don't know what would be the best way to tear up like the Bitcoin market. Like if a government really hated Bitcoin, what could they do to just obliterate the price without destroying their own economy? So like, because I mean the thing you could do is you could just print out a whole bunch of money like they did the other the last week. They printed out like what, over $200 billion just to lend to these banks for a couple of days or something like that. That was crazy. That was like when that started happening, I was like, guys, it's happening. It's happening. The financial collapse. But they threw another band-aid on it, so gonna take another couple weeks, months, years maybe. But I'll be here when it happens. Chilling in my crypto. Soaking up all the profits. You don't want to use my whale setup? It's still on the chart. I don't know what else. I have on close. I don't know much about it, so I can't. I don't know. I mean, the way it's set up, I mean, it seems accurate as fuck. Unless there's a way to get it like even more accurate, so the cells are like at the very, very tippy tops. I feel like even there, I mean, it's still taking advantage of a lot of good moves. Hmm. No, I started the stream. Thug Crypto came in, and he was like, "Hey man, got this great indicator," and I was like, "Okay," and I just added to the chart. I have not made a trade with it yet. Let's see. This one would have been a straight drop. The way it's set up right now, you probably have a hard time getting limit orders filled, but that's the only problem I see with it. Market orders would be fine. But if you're doing market orders, I wouldn't do the 5 minute. I'll probably do like the 30 minute. Because then up here, you could have got probably a limit orders set up. Right here, you probably could have got a buy order set up. Right here, it did change to a buy on that candle. Okay, so time 6 minute. Set it up off the 4. Sampling 90. Range 2. Yeah. It's got a lot of good ones in it, but let's see, this one would have kind of killed you, but if you could get a limit order filled just because of this wick right here, then it could have taken off. I just want to like constantly entering and exiting trades. Let's look at the 1 hour. 1 hour, goodbye right there. So this one didn't kind of work. It'd be definitely good to have something extra alongside kite crossing in my technical analysis, just to, this indicator also is saying sell. I feel like I'll be making the right decision a lot more often. I mean, even with kite crossing, I mean, I don't really exit and enter trades all that often. I did change it to the 60 minute just a couple minutes ago, but I did have it on the 90 minute for the majority of this entire pattern. Now even the 90 minute is saying short as well. God damn, why does it get so hot in my room? I just don't want it to affect the microphone, that's all. Hopefully when winter rolls around, I'll just be able to like put my windows down and then the cool breeze will have it flowing in. Maybe I can get a fan or something. I just don't have any central AC in this house. That's my thing that sucks about it. Let me see. Hello? Oh no. See, my Adobe Audition can filter out the sound of the AC, but leave my voice in. So the harsh AC noise, it has to take out all the frequencies that are revolving around that in order to just filter it out. So it kind of makes my voice sound kind of wonky. Yeah, I changed the whatchamacallit, the YouTube delay to like super low latency, so it makes it lower quality, and I can talk to you guys pretty much real time, so it helps. Never settles. Thanks for the donation again, man. Really do appreciate it. Thoughts on BTC? I'm at a standstill. There's so many different things I don't understand. Obviously, you would love to think that Backed is just going to dump the price. Everybody's going to make money. Everybody's going to be able to buy BTC at a lower price, but we'll just have to wait and see. Otherwise, the chart is looking bullish. It's looking like a bullish pennant. And with a projection to take us all the way up to about 15,500 if we do break out of it. But obviously, you gotta wait on some candle closes for it to really be confirmed, as well as volume to come in with it. But besides that, it's kind of just chill time. Go with the flow, be in the correct trade when it matters, and you'll be fine. But other than that, I mean, I can't make a definitive, like Bitcoin's going to do this. But I don't feel like it's my position to, decide on one decision. You got to leave your mind open and understand if something does go wrong. If you're in the wrong trade at the wrong time, have the correct stop loss set up, stuff like that. Currently, I don't have a stop loss on this trade, but I feel like I would get a buy or sell signal off of one of these two indicators before anything major happened. Oh, thoughts on BTC Time Traveler? Is that a thing? Isn't that like a no sleep Reddit thing that I read like 2 years ago? Let me see if I can find it. Let me try to put it up on this page so you guys can still look at that. No sleep Bitcoin. This got one upvote. I feel bad for this guy. He put in like 1,000-word page and he got one upvote. Look up Bitcoin time travel. Oh, it is a Reddit. I'm sending you this message from the year 2025. Things are looking bleak here, and some of you may carry, or some of you will carry blood on your hands. If you don't believe me, please move on. So I have no way of proving you to who. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's real, but it does bring up a lot of good points, and it does fall in line with a little bit of what I think is going to happen. Just based on present times, what's happening, what is the Fed doing? The inflation rates, the hyperinflation that could happen. I don't think the U.S. is going to be directly affected. I could be wrong, but I do think it will be indirectly affected. There's going to be so many other countries around the world that are caught up in this bond bubble that if it does just pop out of nowhere, a lot of those countries that have exports to the U.S. or even imports, as low as they might be, they won't be able to do those types of things for a while, and I think the U.S. will be directly affected by it, especially the stock market and stuff like that. I mean, it's just going to tank. I mean, it sounds like a conspiracy theory. It sounds like all this stuff, but Satoshi Nakamoto, if you look at the hash block that he made, he put it was basically a link, if you could say that, to an article about quantitative injecting or quantitative easing and how it detriments economies, and they're just doing it like it's it's the next hot thing. It's just a fad. Oh, you want to print money? We'll print money. Oh, you printed more money? We'll get more money. It's ridiculous. I mean, the last week or so, I mean, it was getting very, very close to everybody stopped buying the bonds. And they had to inject money so that people could borrow money at a cheaper price so they could buy those bonds. the bond bubble is going to pop when nobody wants to buy the bonds anymore. And the U.S. isn't really involved in that just yet until they get into the negative rates. But eventually, they probably will get there. Has that meeting happened with the Fed to talk about interest rates? I don't think it's interest rates on bonds, but it might be interest rates on other things. Fed interest rates. Let me check. Trump wants to cut the rates. Let's see. Is the federal interest rate policy It's taking a minimum approach, setting interest rates. So from whatever everything I've seen, it looks like they are going to cut the rates again, and that's good for Bitcoin. Anything good for Bitcoin is good for me. Yeah, it's still market cipher. I just have different colored waves. Yeah, I think they said their target was like 1.75. So we're just inching closer to this negative interest rate bubble, and joining many other countries in it. It sucks that stuff like this is happening around you. And for people like us that are investing in crypto that understand how things are working, we will benefit off of it. But there's going to be millions and millions and millions of people in the US, around the world, billions perhaps, that are being caught in the crossfire of it. And it's just going to give them another reason to buy Bitcoin. And I love to smile at that fact, but there's going to be so many things that are done by normal people just to survive that it's not going to be good. I mean, the Bitcoin time traveler thing, the thing about many of you will have blood on your hands, that's probably going to be true. Okay, so this was written 6 years ago. So it said that in 2017, Bitcoin would be $10,000. Written 6 years ago. Granted, it did go up to about $20,000, but they said 2017. $100,000 in 2019, and $1 million in 2021. It's kind of hard to say $1 million, but I do think it's going to get to that at some point in time, but I don't think it's going to be 2021. There's no way good expressing value in dollars. Yeah, I mean, this one right here. In Africa, surveys show that an estimated 70% of people believe that Bitcoin was invented by the devil himself. My granddad. So I was trying to teach him about Bitcoin, and he goes, "Who created Bitcoin?" And I go, "Nobody knows." He says his name is Satoshi Nakamoto, and nobody knows who he is. If it's a group of people, if it's anything about him. He goes, what if Satoshi Nakamoto was the Antichrist? I'm like, okay, granddad. Good point. But I'm not going to fight you on that subject as nobody knows who he is. My granddad, he has a PhD in religious studies a couple years ago, and he's written like a 7,000 page paper on the end times. So his thing is religion. He's also a financial advisor on that, but he didn't like Bitcoin. Just from me explaining it to him. And I tried my best to explain it to him. I mean, I sat him down, I let him learn how the blockchain worked, where the value in itself comes from. I tried to compare it to like Facebook and telephones and all that stuff because, telephones, they're useless if only one person has a telephone, but if billions of people have a telephone, it's priceless. And Bitcoin is the same way. Where can I read all his stuff on the end times? I don't know if he actually has his. Let me look his name up and see if it's published anywhere. What's his middle name? I don't think he has it published on anything. I think he just sent it in as his final, like, whatever the final thing is for that class. But if I ever meet up with him again, if you want it, I'll grab it. I'm sure he'll let me take a copy of it. alphabetgovernment.org, which allows them to control everything in the law. I did show him the Satoshi versus Hamilton rap battle, and he took the side of Hamilton, and I was like, this was not the purpose of the video. Like, every time Hamilton like had a comeback, like, oh, it's gonna be worthless, it's gonna go to zero, something like that, he would laugh his ass off. And I was like, this is how I make my living, granddad. You're laughing at my demise. Hey Damon, how you doing, man? Yeah, I mean, he's not too technologically inclined, and when he wrote the paper, he wasn't blind, but he's not blind, but he's legally blind. Like, he can't drive, and if he's at the computer, he has to have, like, how I have my mic on a boom arm. He has to have a magnifying glass on the boom arm in front of his computer monitor in order to see. That sucks. God damn, I would hate for that to happen to me. Hopefully, I can take better care of my eyes and stuff like that. And I know it's not, just taking care of your eyes and stuff. I mean, it is partly genetics, but I do feel like, as technology progresses, we'll have, we already have like electronic contacts and stuff like that. That's awesome. Like I think, let me see, electronic. Most people will be like, electronic contacts, don't ever get that close to my eyeballs, ever. I'm pretty sure it has like a zoom feature because they did like a rendition of if you like zoomed into the moon with it. I don't think they sell it yet. eVision is developing a working prototype of the electronic contact lenses that can be inserted into the eye, focused and powered wirelessly. How does that work? I know wireless power exists, but Have you guys ever looked up like Nikola Tesla, what he was trying to do? Nikola Tesla was trying to set up a wireless power grid that would bring power to millions of people. And he was actually getting to the point where it worked. And then I forgot if somebody shut him down or something like that, or if he lost funding. But that would have been cool. But there's no profit in that. So obviously people don't want to do that. So I eat eggs. Eggshells. Eat eggshells? I've never heard about eating eggshells. I feel like if you blended it into like a smoothie, like very, 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 very fine, and it added some grittiness to the smoothie or something like that, maybe then I'll eat eggshells. But I don't think I'll eat just crack an egg. Oh, I'm not gonna cook the egg. I'm just gonna eat these eggshells. Kite, love me. Am I not loving you enough? You have my attention most days. I love how you put it. Munch the shell. I'll try it. I'll try it. If I eat an entire dozen eggshells, I better have the best vision in the world, or I swear. Rounded bottom, lower highs. Going to end of wedge. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're at a very pivotal point here. We're currently just kind of getting into a pennant on this right here. Maybe a bearish pennant, but we could break out to the upside and then just tap this macro resistance. So, I mean, if we do go to the upside, hopefully we'll have an over indicator by then, and my take profit will probably be just below this fib line right here. This is a macro fib line. The teal ones, this thin teal one, that's a fib fan. This is a fib retracement, so. But I am currently sitting in the short right now. Trump's grandfather was responsible for decommissioning all Tesla's work. I hate Trump even more now. Just kidding. I never base anybody's character off of their fathers and grandfathers and mothers and grandmothers. That's just a stupid concept. Now, my theory, okay, I do think Trump is smart. I do think he's a good businessman. Don't like his political decisions. But my hope is that Trump understands where this is headed. And I hope to God that since he's accelerating it on purpose to obliterate everything and build, have a strong foundation, which is the U.S. government, all that kind of stuff, and then we can build on top of that. Otherwise, it's all for none, because it's really just everything's going down the drain. I mean, I hate the fact that Bloomberg, like a month ago, they were talking about the negative interest rates, the yield curve, all that stuff, and they were telling people things are all right. Nothing is going to happen. God, I hate when the mainstream. I don't know if I brought this up on stream. I told a couple of my friends this, but my mom sent me a text message a couple days ago. It says, the more you know about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, the less you are convinced of their success. She sent me like a snapshot of an article she saw. Claims major survey. Dutch bank, a bank, surveyed more than 10,000 people across Europe and found that those who knew the most about cryptocurrencies were the least likely to be enthusiastic about them. And I was like, oh my God. She doesn't see the irony in that. The banks hate Bitcoin. Of course, they're going to make a survey that's skewed towards Bitcoin and its demise. So I was like, that is actually false. The more you know about cryptocurrencies, the more you trust them than your own currency. Don't believe the news. You're smarter than that. She goes, no, that's how I'm wise. Dr. Phil and Oprah is how I learned how to raise my kids. And I just gave up on the conversation. I didn't even text back to that. I was like, no. Fish. Go lay down for like 5 more minutes. I'll take you out. I promise. Well, I think the problem with our political system, you have these people that really want to change stuff. I mean, if you look at Obama, if you look at the way, his college upbringing was, he was just a hippie. He probably had some actual ideologies about changing shit. But once you actually get into government and you understand that everything is ran by money and you really don't have any say, then you kind of have to change your tune to work with it. And it sucks. I'm sure there's many congressmen. The Congress, Congress gets a very bad rap. But I do feel like the people there are good, but they get corrupted over time because, money corrupts people. It really does. That's why I kind of try to take a slower approach. I've made all this money off of Bitcoin, but I'm not balling out. Yes, I buy a couple of nice things every, couple weeks. I treat myself. But I don't have a mansion. I don't drive a Lambo. I'm not that type of person. And if I feel like if I started to acquire things like that out of nowhere, such as a congressman would, if he gets into, the Senate, all of a sudden you have all these lobbyists offering you hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote what they're trying to promote. You all of a sudden are able to afford all these nice things, and then you just start to buy them, and you want to keep that lifestyle, so you continue to work for these people, and money corrupts. It does. And I just try to stay away from it. Money isn't the best thing at all. So me and Reese were talking the other day, and I don't know what the comment was, but I started laughing. And I go, laughs and rich. Oh, feels good sometimes. Feels good. It's awesome. It's awesome to live stress free, but I wouldn't be able to live stress free at this point in time if I didn't have crypto. I would probably be like every other high school student that just got out of high school. I either go into college, I go into like $100,000 of debt, or I work at where I was working B-dubs for like a couple years just to save up for something. It really sucks to be a kid nowadays, but luckily I was smart enough to get out of that kind of, loop. But for a lot of people, they don't. I don't think you shouldn't vote. I just think the voting system is stupid. I think they need to blockchain the voting system and have it so that each vote can be verified. Let's say you go onto a government website, and I mean, they could technically still, like, it would have to be visible to the public, the votes, each individual one, just like the blockchain is visible. I feel like they need to have like a voting app on your phone, because if you want to vote, you have to go to like a local high school, sit in a long ass line, and then put in a paper vote, which is counted slowly over time. Well, I think it's electronic now. I haven't been, but they need to do something along those lines. Have it so that everybody can vote from their pockets or at their computer and have it verified through a blockchain system. So that way, everybody gets a say. Everybody has their input, and that way it can be accurate, because not everybody goes to vote. Only the people that feel really, really strongly about something get to vote, because they're willing to sit in a line, just like somebody that really wants to ride a roller coaster. They'll sit in like a 3-hour line just to ride that damn roller coaster just one time.
Things we remember never go to plan. That's a fancy way of saying you should let me hold your hand. Yeah, and we was here as friends, but the waves keep rolling.
That's some sad boy music right there. Throw it at me, Thug Crypto. I love indicators. I don't like having like a bajillion indicators on one chart. That's why I kind of keep it simple with Kite Crossing and Market Cipher. I feel like that's all I really need, honestly. Like I said, I don't hate Trump. Like, I'm not like impeach Trump like a lot of people do. I just don't like his political decisions, but I do like. I like his economic decisions and the fact that he's destroying it. So. Because the faster we can destroy it, the faster it can be rebuilt. But the longer we drag this out with all the problems that we have, the bigger it's going to blow up in their face. It's like a rubber band that they're just pulling back, and it just keeps going. And if they let it go now, it's not going to be that big of a fucking snap. But if they just let it pop back in their face, oh. There's too many things happening around the world. Like, if you look at I think it's Thailand or something like that, the opium industry is big out there. So they want to keep harvesting opium, poppy plants and stuff like that. But they made kratom illegal, which is a beneficial. It doesn't have any chemical hooks. It's a natural painkiller that doesn't have any real downside. But no, they want to keep farming these poppy plants because it makes people want to come back. Makes the pain temporarily go away. And so they made it illegal. They hunt down people that grow kratom. It's sad that a government only cares about profit. Brown University, Cornell, UCLA, and Purdue. Did you pass? I don't know. Kratom, like anything, in low doses, and if you don't use it too much, that's where it doesn't. But it does have a psychological. Anything has a psychological effect, a psychological addiction. That's another factor to it. It's not just about the chemical hooks in it. It's about the way it makes you feel that gets people to continue to use it. I did use the Ikamuchu. Ikamuchu? No, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I did use that for a little bit. Back before I had Market Cipher. It wasn't my favorite, and I don't know much about it. Just because when I did started using it, it was when I was very, very new to trading. I didn't understand exactly how it worked, but it's also another great tool. It is. I think anything that kind of clouds up your chart, anything that obscures your chart too much, I just don't feel like it's worthwhile. I like to have it clean and minimal. That way, I'm not obscured by a whole bunch of different indicators, whole bunch of different lines. That's why my market cipher is pretty basic as well. You want to make trading as fluid as possible. Don't make it harder than it has to be. It really is easy. You just have to have the correct indicator set up, and you will just be on the right side of everything when it does happen. You don't have to know a lick about technical analysis in order to use market cipher and kite crossing, and even the whales buy and sell. I mean, it really is just as simple as getting the indicator. But with that being said, learn technical analysis and learn it to the point where if you watch any of my earlier streams, that was some hardcore technical analysis. And people are not used to seeing hardcore technical analysis. And then when they see it, they think it's a whole bunch of gibberish that doesn't make any sense and there's no reason for it. But I was able to call blood diamonds, red dots, not red dots, blood diamonds, all that kind of shit, 30 minutes in advance by using advanced technical analysis. And that's the benefit of those things if you don't have, incredible indicators like we have. So the 200 billion, I'm not sure if that was printed or if it was just lended. But the banks do have to pay that back pretty damn soon. It was just because nobody wanted to buy the bonds anymore. And so they pumped money into it and allowed the banks to have pretty much cheap money, if that even makes sense. Cheap money in order to buy those bonds back so that then trigger financial collapse. If they did not do it, it would have happened. And that's why it had to be such a dramatic number of, billions of dollars pretty much over the course of like 3-5 days. Otherwise, it would have been bad. And it's not in the mainstream media. You really have to dig deep for a lot of these things to see the inner workings behind them. When is your indicator coming out with your bot theory? I don't know if there's a way to get that into a bot. Let me show you. Let me go back to one of my earlier live streams. Let's see. But even CryptoFace came in and he was like, every single time I come to your stream, there's more lines, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I tried to make it like, I'm trying to make the streams less complicated, because I know it's a lot for people to look at and see 1,000 different lines. Like, look at this. If you opened up my stream today, like, you would not know what the hell is going on. There's- But a lot of these patterns, I would draw out like 6, 7 days ahead of time. And I was using literally a minuscule amount of information, and I was able to make these patterns way, way, way farther than anybody else could. And the fact that people think that you can't draw these patterns out ahead of time, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Yes, the economy is good right now. And yes, it needs more cash. But when you print that cash out of thin air, you're just sending us further and further down a rabbit hole that we're going to have to claw our way out of. I mean, I always bring up Argentina, for example. Their economy was booming, going straight up. They were just pumping cash into the system. Then overnight, these things don't happen over the course of years. They don't happen over the course of weeks. They happen overnight. Just do your past research on the dot-com bubble. The 2008 financial crash. You can go back further than that. Go to the Great Depression. There's many more, collapses in between the Great Depression and the 2008. People only are taught. They're not even taught the 2008 in school. They're taught about the Great Depression and how the government fixed it, how they put on all these band-aids and helped us getting out of this rut. They don't talk about what caused it. That's the part that's left out in schools. I'm short right now. I'm watching it from the 5-minute. It doesn't matter what chart you watch it on. It just matters if the chart is lower than the last time frame. So if you're using the 60, 180, 360, 720, you just need to have your chart on lower than that. The lower, the better. So if you have it on the 5-minute, you're gonna get a better entry than the 10-minute. That way you're just not stuck on one candle waiting for that confirmation. You could literally have the swing time frame set up on the 1 minute, and it works the same exact way, even better. I haven't even seen the updated figures on the bond bubble yet. Let's see if there's any more information on that, because what's it at? It's at 17 to 19 trillion a couple weeks back. It went up like 3 or 4 trillion within like a couple weeks. Let's see, bond bubble. Looking 6 days ahead, what percentage we go up? We go down. Like I said, we've been respecting this macro pennant for quite a while. If you look at it at a higher time frame, you can actually see it. It's not really a descending triangle. Yes, we do have a couple wicks down, but past these 2 points, no. But I'm going based off of this fib fan right here. So if we do cross below this fib fan and get a candle body, that's when I'll start getting bearish. But until then, I do think that we're going to start holding it. We're going to continue to hold it until then. Obviously, Backed could come out tomorrow and just shit on all that. But until then, I'm holding it. But we are getting dangerously close to the end of this. Late October, early October. That's when we should see a breakout, if it is going to break out bullish. But Backed is live, but from what I've heard from you guys, it's live to, only a certain amount of people, and then $22.5 trillion in debt. That's awesome. That's awesome. Because the more debt and the worse this gets, the more rich we're going to get. But with that being said, a lot of people are going to get hurt. A lot of people. Kevin, where did you get those updated figures from? So I just haven't gotten an article pushed to me yet recently on it. Does that only take into effect, take into account U.S.'s bond debt? I'm trying to look at. I'm trying to specifically look at the negative yielding, the negative bond debt, because the U.S. is not negative yet. What is the most recent article? This article is. Go back to the phone. I don't think it's gonna flip to a long anytime soon, because the unders have been playing out very. Let's see, last time we got under 2 over. That was 14 hours. Sometimes Kite says over or under and it's wrong. So how do you know which one is right? So you have to base it off of the pattern. So when we were early in this pattern and we got this over symbol and we were right to the resistance, until I saw that get over, I really didn't want to take that over. But even then, this over, so the whole thing about kite crossing, if you are going to follow it to a T, don't be worried. You just have to understand that not every single one is going to give you a 50% gain. It's not about that. It's about having consistent growth over a long period of time. That way, like in the video I was saying, it's like kind of like mining for gold. You know, you're going to be just, you know, obviously we have gold detection systems and stuff like that. I'm sure there is something like that. I'm not an expert in gold mining, but imagine, you know, you're just a classic gold miner, early 1900s. You're just going to be constantly looking for it, and yeah, you have to spend a lot of, you know, time and effort. You have to spend a lot of money on mining equipment, gas to get to where the mine is, stuff like that. And even for the ones that don't play out, you won't lose much. But for the ones that do play out, you'll gain a whole lot. So it's not about constantly having the right signal and making huge amounts of cash on every single signal. Trading isn't like that. Even with the whales indicator, it flipped just as many times. Now, granted, this is on a micro scale, but even it was having trouble in this pattern. That's why I changed it to a 90, just because it was such a tight pattern and there wasn't really a lot of volatility in it. I mean, it was volatile on the lower time frames, but on the macro time frame, not really. So I kind of just let it do its thing, and I was holding mostly short the entire time. I did exit and take profit on the overs, but I was waiting for the unders. Another strategy you could do with it, you could have the swing time frames set up on one chart and have the micro time frame set on one chart, and only take the overs and unders based on the swing time frames. That was one thing that I was doing for a very long time. Back when we dropped from, you know, I think it was 10,800, 10,850 or something like that. And we dropped, I took profit on that short, and I re-entered short towards the bottom because we were still holding an under. But we gradually went up, but we were still holding an under. So I was just DCAing short positions using fib lines as well as my lower time frames. And then by the end of it all, even though it took, you know, I think like a couple days, I was able to get that back into profit. Now, obviously, if you're a scalper, you're not looking for that type of stuff, but you would just have to lower your time frames to whatever you feel is more accurate. You know, go back and eyeball it. That's all you got to do. You can change it to, as long as you have predictive closes on, predictive closes off whenever you're on those smaller time frames, like if you're using 3, 6, 12, 24, then you'll be fine. $85 leverage, 85x leverage. That's pretty insane. I'm glad you got a 320% gains though. I'm definitely glad on that. But I would now recommend anybody do that high leverage. That high leverage is for stuff that is super, super stable. I mean, like currencies. That's where you'll use like 500x, 1000x leverage. Even then, it just sounds ridiculous to me. I just got this the other day. It's an RPM 40 made by Smock, and it's way better than my Nova. My Nova was leaking. Every couple hits, I was getting like a juice pop in my mouth. Not pop, but it would just kind of seep into the, out of the coil into the the pod. But this one, it's absolutely awesome. Off the table. Nope, I'm still short. Still short. What I would like to try to do is tomorrow I might experiment with it, and like let's say we're holding an over. I mean holding an under, but we get these little pops the entire way down. Then I'll probably start looking at maybe taking some little tiny DCAs all the way through. So, if you're using that high of a time frame, your resistance lines and your support lines are going to be way different than what I have set up here, for example. It's mostly going to be macros. And when you're using macros, while if you're doing swing trading, you'd be using lower leverage. But I do use 10x on my swings. But I have Kite and Kite Crossing. I do have Market Cipher B at my disposal. I'm able to see whether or not that's going to change on me on the higher time frames. Let me go take fish out. I'm sorry about that. But if you're getting wicked out constantly, your stop losses are not where they're supposed to be. Obviously, this right here could have wicked you out if you were in a short. But if you were looking at your TA, you would understand that this fib fan has been respected the entire time through the triangle, and I probably would have closed down my short on that, as I did. But I didn't take the long. I didn't see us kind of pumping up, but obviously I was wrong on that. But just if you're doing swing time frames, your stop losses have to be very lenient. Don't set them too close. You're going to be looking for the long-term gains. You're in a trade for a week at most of the time with those swing trades. So don't get too crazy over setting very, very tight stop losses. I try to avoid trailing stops as well. I very rarely use stop losses because most of the time I'm able to eyeball it and just understand whether or not we're at a major support, major resistance, and take my profit where I need to take my profit. The Kite Crossing indicators on the lower time frames as well. I try my best to set up the patterns ahead of time, take profit where it needs to be taken. Like right here, if you were scalping this, you probably could have seen that we were holding this support line the entire time down. So anytime you were in a short and it tapped off of it, I would have set a stop loss, just a little bit above it, so you're still in profit. I gotta go take fish out because I told him like 20 minutes ago I would take him out. All right, be right back. Yeah, I do it all from my computer using Bybit and TradingView. I don't, but I don't have work anymore. But when I was at work, I have a Note 9, so I have like a little pen with it. So I was able to do trades, set up my trends, stuff like that, very easily. So I was able to trade at work. I was making, $100 every couple hours, just trading at work. All right, Fish, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Fish is quite the dog. So whenever I take him in from, going to the bathroom, he'll go in, he'll like sit right next to his kennel. And I'm like, all right, come on, let's go back to the room. And then he just sits there and stares at me, and I have to herd him back to the room like a little cow. He looks like one too. But it's okay. I understand. I'm the same way. Oh, and when I was outside, I was looking at this Bitcoin time traveler stuff, reading his Are you serious, Fish? No. I was reading some of his like newer posts rather than the one he wrote like 6 years ago. And so one of the questions, so this was like 2 months ago, so before this actually happened, and he goes, what happened to Area 51? He was like, it gets turned into a yearly convention where people gather at the Area 51 UFO hotel for lectures and other UFO related things. And I was like, I actually see that happening, because that's exactly what happened. People go there and it's like a meme convention almost. Hey, what's up, JJ? How you doing, man? Fish, go lay down. Go lay down. Yeah, just a small dump. Hey, what's up, Austin? What's up, Austin? Coming from Austin to an Austin. Nothing much. I'm holding on to this short right now. I'm not expecting a lot from it. But it would be nice for it to play out. I do think that if we can drop down to this and then get caught into a descending triangle, then we might be able to push past it. But that would have to be a pretty decently sized descending triangle. I just don't think the shorts are really going to play out right now. Just with the way that FibFan has been respecting this entire time. We could get a wick past it on the higher time frames, and it might be able to drop down to, maybe 9,400. But besides that, I don't think it's going to be playing out the way a lot of people think it's going to play out. You have 50% of your portfolio back in 2 trades. That's awesome. But that does mean you're using a lot more than you should have. And I just recommend that you slow it down. Now that you got some of your portfolio back, slow it down. Because with the amount you were probably using to get that back, you can lose it just as easily. And I know you probably know that, but I'm just trying to look out. What screensaver is that? No, it's not a screensaver. I just go on YouTube and I look up minimal background video, and I play whatever looks cool. A Kryptonaire. Dude, imagine if someone had multi-million bitcoins. That would be something. So Thug Crypto recommended me this thing called buy sell. It's a whales buy sell indicator or something like that. All you gotta do is look up whales and buy, and then it'll pop up whales buy right here. And then he had some very specific settings for it, being the OHLC492. And it's very accurate. And I mean, it works on higher time frames as well, being the 1 hour. But once this candle starts to print and you get that buy symbol pop up, then you're probably going to have to just trust it. Otherwise, kind of miss out because it doesn't let you buy the bottom exactly. But it's not meant for the higher time frames based on his settings, from what I understand. I don't know if it's repainting. I don't have any information on it. During the stream, I literally added it to my chart. It was the first time I've ever seen it, so I'll keep it on there. It's interesting. It definitely looks like it works. So I'll use that in conjunction with everything else. And when you get multiple indicators all pointing to one direction, you're pretty much surefire confirmation in it. I actually did not know that. This one is actually saying buy, but we've never seen it say buy and then it drops down. I wonder if this 12-hour blood diamond is still going to continue to play out downwards, but I feel like the blood diamond happened. Boom, we found support. I think it's kind of dumb, but that's the first time. This is the first blood diamond we've gotten. I mean, I can't go that far back in this one, but we only got blood diamonds during the bear market on the 12-hour. So maybe we could dump down to 7,500. Not out of the question. It's just not the most likely scenario based on charts right now. But the blood diamond could be the indicator that that is going to happen. We have one on a 2-day? I didn't even see the 2-day. We have one on the daily. Let me go to the 2-day. Oh, we had the 2-day one over there. Let me go to Bitstamp real quick. Let me back test some of these higher time frame blood diamonds. Blood diamond on the 2-day led to this big drop. Blood diamond pump. Yeah, I mean, last time we got a blood diamond on a 2-day, we dropped 49%. I don't think we're gonna. Let's see, 49%. Let's just have equal numbers for the hell of it. I know it's probably not gonna do that, but that would put us back down to like 5,000. Let's see, for example. I just don't see us going into a bear market this early, but blood diamonds are blood diamonds. Go back to Vibrant. What's up, Michael? Yeah, I need to get like a soft box for my light because I just have literally a lamp behind my monitors, propped up on like a paper towel roll that's like pointed down on me. It kind of fucks up my vision, so I can't see that clearly. So I think I did inherit. It's something called Fuchs. It's an eye disorder. I think bright lights do affect me because of that. This looks like a inverse head and shoulders pattern on Tuesday. Did my shit? Okay, no, it's just my wallpaper changing. We're good. Yeah, bullish divergence on the 3-day. As of right now, as long as this fib line can hold. Higher price, lower momentum. Daily, you just got some bullish convergence at the moment. Yeah, it's just bullish convergence. 12 hour. 12 hour. 12 hour, you actually have some exaggerated bullish divergence. And some bullish convergence off of this. Well, some bullish divergence off of that. 8 hour. Bullish convergence. I'm curious if we do get a pump out of this, but currently holding the short just based off of the lower time frames. Now we're probably going to come up and retest this resistance. Well, previous support and then confirm it as resistance. Gotcha. That's why I thought crypto. I knew that yours was for the lower time frames. The hellfish? Hey, off the table. Off the table. What's up, RJ? How you doing, man? So if we do drop from here, I'm going to have a take profit set up at pretty much, let's see, if we drop from here, I'm probably going to have my take profit set up at 9,700, around that zone. And we'll probably, if it does want to drop further, we're probably going to find temporary support off of this fib fan and then probably Bart Simpson over for a little bit and then drop down again. fish. Stop. Yep. So I have a 34-inch ultra wide in front of me, and I have the two 27-inch, 27 inches on the side. And I'm going to be getting a 49-inch super ultra wide sometime. Probably no time soon, but I do want to have it. This is not yours. No, but Walker just got the greatest deal of a lifetime. Somebody was selling a 144 hertz 1440p HDR panel for $250 on Craigslist, and he's gonna buy it tomorrow. What? That's pretty cool. Fib fans, they just give you another layer. Sometimes if you're using fib retracements, sometimes you notice that they get caught somewhere in the middle. They never go exactly where they're supposed to go, and some people just chalk that up to just something random. But there is a fib fan crossing in the middle of those. Fib fans give you nice up channels and down channels to work with, rather than just flat sideways. So as you can see on my higher time frame chart, we look at the fib fans rather than just the fib retracements. You can see how we get that extra layer of support all the way through, where we have no fib retracement. Our only fib retracement between this point and this point are these points. I mean, there's nothing there. We just have fib fans. You can see we kind of bounced off of this fib fan a couple times, finally broke it, and we found support off of these fib fans. This fib fan in particular, this entire macro triangle. Not saying that it can't be broken. I'm just saying that is the current support. This fib fan right here. The support is not actually, down here. Yeah, I took off. Well, I mean, yeah, I disabled the clouds and the targets and all that stuff. Buy and sell bloodline. Did I type it in correctly?
Vincent, I haven't seen your face, but I know it's you. I can smell the blood on your hands from here.
I don't think I can find it. There it is. I'm looking for my phone.
Why don't you shoot? What? What's wrong? With your nerve? You started out so fearless.
I got you. I'll put it in the description just in case anybody's interested on the settings. Okay. It's in the settings now. I mean, it's in the description. Hey, how you doing, James? What's going on, man? Yeah, it's just kind of sit back and relax night. Let's look at some stupid stuff while we're waiting. Let's look at. Well, I mean, it's not stupid, but it's cool. I want to look at that more of the BTC time traveler stuff. I don't believe in it, but I do think it's interesting. It's just something cool. Forgot what. Where's the new one? Where's his news post?
You are in the middle of something. Pardon me.
There's a lot of people posing as him, but nobody actually has the actual account. Where's the thing I was looking at outside? Because he wasn't only talking about Bitcoin, he was talking about some major stuff too. Because like it was like a couple months ahead of time before anything major happened about the Jeffrey Epstein, something like that, trial happened. He was like, "Yeah, this is gonna happen, and he's gonna kill it. He's gonna be pronounced dead before the trial even starts." It's like, damn, that's some intuitive thinking to make that up. Um, Well, I think I still have it open on my phone. I like how they added fake to it, just to make sure that people understand. Why is it so hard to understand that this is most definitely probably fake? Gotta add a tag for it. This guy was calling him out on his bullshit, and he was like, "Dude, you've been wrong on most of the things." And he was like, some guy tried to back him up, and he was like, "Obviously, him traveling back in time is messing up the timeline. That's why he can't give us a whole lot of information. It's basic science." That's the best comeback. It's basic science. Yes, Kite Indicator is based off of MC, in particular the VWAPs. Adam, that could definitely be something. I haven't seen much on that. I don't use volume all that much. Um, but definitely, I mean, Honeybays, I think he's pretty good at what he does. He definitely knows what he's talking about in terms of stuff like that. But as of right now, I'm still kind of sitting bullish until that's broken. Obviously, I'm going to go based off what my indicators say as well, but just from the chart itself, it's bullish. Has CryptoFace showed up in a while to the stream? Well, granted, I haven't been streaming that much, so no. Have you tried adjusting the sampling period on the buy and sell indicator? No, I haven't messed around with it all that much. I just put in the settings that Thug Crypto gave to me, and they look pretty solid. Sometimes it comes just a little bit short. Let me see. Were you able to get in on this? I think you were, actually. I mean, you would have been able to get on this candle. Probably would have been able to get a limit order filled. Let's say you got in like right about here. I mean, that still would have been, a 20% at 10x. So I'm not mad about, losing a couple percent. Stop/profit should be 77 CA 5-6 minutes. $77. I don't think it changed it that much. I'm on the 5 minute, correct? Is that not the correct settings, Thug? Okay, that's seizure-inducing. I'm gonna switch that. Just go back to the good old fireplace. I do have to get off in a little bit though. I have a one-on-one session, and I do have to put that first. Let me see what time he wanted to hop on. What time is that my time? I know it's pretty soon, but I don't know exactly. He's 6 hours ahead of me, so. So 12 o'clock. Okay. I'm stupid. Dude, you'll be surprised how many people think the fireplace is real. I'm like, you know how dope that would be to have that gigantic of a fireplace in my own room? But I would probably like die from how hot it would get. Dude, fireplaces nowadays are just like bragging rights. I mean, unless you obviously need it. But like, in like a first world country, and you're just in like a suburban neighborhood, or if you're in like a mansion or something, it's just for bragging rights and just for it to look cool. Otherwise, I mean, central AC, you know, HVAC would get you. Fireplaces aren't allowed in the UK. That's going against, you know, your rights as a human. Humans love fire, and that's a fact. I don't think there's ever been a single kid that has not lit something on fire. I know I have. My dad burned down his house as a kid. I don't know what he lit on fire and for what purpose, but he burned down his house. So being a pyromaniac is in my genes. Alright though, Crypto. You're peacing out. I'll see you later, man. Hopefully I can get the correct settings, because apparently I just don't understand. Dude, I'm glad that like kids nowadays know about Bitcoin, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if we can convince, you know, the older generations about Bitcoin. What matters is if we can get younger, I mean, that sounds kind of, you know, predatory, but if we can get the younger kids and we can get it implanted in their heads and get them understanding the financial system, earlier in their life rather than very, very late to the party. But because nowadays in schools, all you're taught is about CDs and, just stuff that doesn't make you money. And they don't teach you how to manage your finances. They teach you how to write a check, how to balance a checkbook, making a basic budget. And that's it. That's the end of that class. They don't teach you the stuff that needs to be taught. And I know that, like, you could easily say that, oh, why would a high school student need to know about the intricacies of the economic system? Because it pertains to their entire life. Everything revolves around the economic system. Money. Why wouldn't you teach them that? That's just stupid. Oh. Okay. Yeah, critical thinking is not promoted. Especially with, like, I guess projects give you a little bit of leeway to think for yourself, but for the most part, homework is pretty much A and B. There's no in between. It was suggested by Thug Crypto at the beginning of the stream. It's whales. It's in the bottom of the description, all the settings for it and all that stuff. It's whales buy and sell, I think. Yeah. And it's definitely very, very good. I mean, with these settings that he's given me, it's definitely great on lower time frames. And he said that if you can adjust it, um, it can work for higher time frames as well. Even when you just kind of load it in by itself, I mean, it's pretty damn accurate. And you can switch it to go based off of the Market Cipher B VWAP as well, which gives you a lot of. It gives you the tops and the bottoms, pretty much to the T. Obviously, this is a shit ton, but you can see its potential. Told you to buy right here. Told you to sell right here. On the fucking blood diamond, it gave you the sell signal. Now this one didn't follow through. This one told you to sell. Obviously it pumped. But you could have held on to that, and you probably, initially you would have been at, well, it actually came all the way up here. So you probably would have been scared shitless, but, you would have been at a 35% loss for a little bit. But if you let it come back down before it hit that buy signal again, you would have only been at an 8% loss. So. I definitely like kite crossing and the fact that it's a little bit more simplistic. It's not, constantly making internexting trades. Not for the people that do love to scalp, this could be potentially a lifesaver. But for people like me, I've gotten to myself to the point where I don't have to aggressively scalp to make money. I can make just as much money just sitting back, going off of these signals, and just living. And I don't have to really pay attention to it all that often. There's a couple of great people that have already made bots out of kite crossing, had it running for weeks, and they've made a tremendous amount of money. Now, getting the bot to set take profit points, not just based on the next change, that's the difficult part that a lot of people are running into, and I understand that it's very difficult, but I'm sure with enough time it will be pretty damn awesome. No, it's not Cynthia Bot. What TA videos do I recommend? I recommend watching CBC Patrons on YouTube. Great set of videos. Absolutely tremendous help in my start with CBC Patrons. That is a Patreon page, though, Patreon YouTube channel, though, for Crypto Bitcoin Chris, or Crypto Revolutions, as his new channel is. So it's definitely a good one, and if you learn a lot from it, definitely hit him up with at least a 1 month subscription. It's about $60. Best price out there you can get for any set of videos. Prestige, I didn't see you say goodbye, but if you're still here, peace out, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow or whenever I decide to stream. I will try to stream tomorrow. That's definitely something that I'm gonna try to do. But I'm kind of getting loaded with these one-on-ones, and I'm trying to work to everybody's schedule, what they can afford to do. But eventually, if it gets to the point where I have to, I'm probably gonna do, um, like a classroom setup where I get like 20 people together, like once a week, and then I go over a whole bunch of stuff. Let me show you. Let's see. If you look up CBC Patrons, you'll get to this YouTube channel right here. It has about 2,000 subscribers. This is a hidden YouTube channel. Me telling you about this is kind of scummy, but I'm doing it in the hopes to support him. So that's why I'm doing it. It is so much information. You go to the YouTube channel, you hit playlists, and you hit learn how to trade crypto. And I mean, it literally starts from like ground zero. So if you learn a lot from this, definitely try your best to hit him up with the 1 month subscription at least. He deserves a lot more than that, but at least give him that. As well as, Crown Crypto. Crown Crypto, if you're just coming into the game, don't start with Crown Crypto. He talks like a maniac. Like I was like, Dad, you want to watch some of the technical analysis videos that I watch on a daily basis? And I brought up Crown Crypto. My dad's like, what is this guy on? What is he on? He talks too fast. I'm like, that's the way, I talk, he talks, everybody talks. And another one would definitely be Silicone. Silicone, I've been watching him for years now. He's a great trader. Definitely does a lot of Elliott wave theory. That's like his, just like mine is like fib fans and like complicated fib patterns and all that stuff. His is just Elliott wave theory and simple technical analysis. He also has a Udemy classroom. I think it's like $250, which is also incredibly cheap for that kind of thing. So definitely check him out if you want to also learn. I mean, he's going back, to the 2017 bull run, and I've watched him go from, a dude in an apartment building to now he owns his own home. He has a Porsche. Definitely a great trader. I think he boasts an 80% win ratio, just based on simple technical analysis. He doesn't have anything crazy for indicators like we have. So he's definitely very good at what he does. And I think on the Udemy classroom, he has like a live session where he like does like actual scalping, and he takes you through his thought process the entire time. I think he mentioned that. I haven't actually bought it, but I think that is on there. Who else is in the game that? Those are my top 3. I think there's another one, but I can't think of it. I'm not sure. I would just stick to those 3. Learn what you can, and you'll be absolutely golden. No problem, Olivia. I appreciate you asking the question, because I mean, the first step is finding the good material to base your judgments off of. Because a lot of people, they go into it and they throw themselves at people like Crown Crypto that know what they're doing, but they use all the complicated terms and they don't help you understand what those terms mean. So it's definitely, I would definitely start with CBC patrons. He's literally trying to take somebody that's never invested, never traded, and turn them into a trader, rather than you having a basic understanding and then wanting to build off of that with Crown Crypto and Silicone. So definitely check out CBC patrons first, and you'll be absolutely set. He has some great tips, but he's just a basic breakout trader, and you can have a lot of success just being a basic breakout trader. You don't have to do these complicated indicators and all that stuff and constantly be entering and exiting trades. He literally just waits for the pattern. He doesn't try to scalp it. He's, whether it be a triangle, bull flag, pennant, head and shoulders, all that kind of stuff. He'll just wait for the confirmation based on candles. He'll buy into it, and then he'll set his stop loss somewhere back within the pattern, just in case it does fall back into it. And he shows you how to take up, set some great take profit points, stuff like that. Definitely a great guy. But with that being said, I do have to sign off and get ready for this one-on-one. I'll definitely try to be on at pretty much the same exact time tomorrow, being 9 p.m. EST. So if you guys want to catch me then. But it's been absolutely fantastic. Been pretty boring on price action. That's to be expected. My streams never have any crazy price action for some reason. Like, literally, I'll turn off the stream, and then like an hour later, even sometimes like 2 minutes later, something crazy will happen, and I'm like, do I want to get back on stream? Do I want to put some comments on this? And then, I'm just like, no. They already know. It already happened. But it is what it is. Anything else I want to say? I think that's it. I'll just start saying bye to you guys. JC, see you, man. See you tomorrow. So I can never pronounce. I don't feel like I can pronounce your name correctly. Okay, is it Alejo or I don't. Can you give me like a phonetic pronunciation? Ilson, thanks for stopping by, man. Kevin, appreciate it, buddy. Da Vinci, appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, so I don't claim to know everything. I'm a 19-year-old kid, and I hope that you guys understand that I'm learning just as much as you guys are. But I'm trying to learn fast enough to keep up with the influx of people so that I can constantly keep pumping out new and great information. I'm just trying as hard as you guys are, so I'm really trying to help, and I understand that sometimes I fall short on a subject, but that makes me want to research the subject, because anything that I don't know, I should know. So I hope you guys do the same with your trading careers. Thug Crypto, appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for showing me the indicator. It was absolutely wonderful to see something that works this well. That's kind of just hidden. You can't really find it. It has like 100 something likes now. Martin, peace out, bro. ACR, hi and goodbye, I guess. Sorry, you kind of stopped in a little bit late, but I will be on at 9 p.m. EST tomorrow if you want to catch me then. Crypto Rhino, peace out, buddy, even though you said go pee and poop. Mandy, thanks for being a new viewer. Appreciate that you liked it. It's just sometimes we get off topic. It's an actual stream. It's, I'm not trying to be super analytical. I'm not trying to, claim to be the best. I just want to have fun, enjoy trading, enjoy the community that's surrounded by, so that we can all learn together. Tigo, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Check on the next one. There's too many to say goodbye to. D-Bland, Crypto Jim, see you guys. Aaron Crypto, appreciate it, buddy. Dr. Bitcoin, yeah. I actually started doing crypto when I was like 16. I sold. If you go back on my channel, like years and like 4 or 5 years ago, I did a video on how to make money fast at school selling candy. That's exactly what I did to get the start in crypto that I had. That led to me basically being retired at 19. So it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride. I was like a candy kingpin. Oh, fish is gonna bark. I'm live streaming. I'm about to get off, but Reese, I'll probably talk to you later tonight at like 1 a.m. if you're still on. I don't have to say goodbye to you. I say hello to you every single day. Michael, you live like 30 minutes from me. Just come visit me. Just show up at my house at like 2 a.m. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully, I can get this whales buy and sell indicator all figured out. Have it added on the stream as another potential indicator. So, I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.